Hi there! Welcome to What is Islam Academy. Let's learn about Islam together.
You've probably heard it before. Someone claims the Qur'an is full of scientific errors. They toss out a few verses, often out of context, and declare the case closed. For many Muslims, especially youth, these claims can be unsettling. Critics point to verses about the earth's shape, the seven heavens, or human creation, calling them scientific blunders. They frame it as a choice modern science or ancient religion, but is that really the choice? These attacks rely on poor translations and ignoring the Arabic language and context. The Quran isn't a science textbook, it's a book of guidance. Its purpose is to connect you with your Creator, not to teach technical details of science. Let's look at what the Quran actually says, in its own language and context. When you strip away misinterpretations, you find a message that speaks to humanity across time. The so-called errors are misunderstandings, errors in reading, not in the Quran itself. Let's tackle these claims honestly and see the depth behind the words. One persistent claim is that the Quran teaches a flat earth. Critics point to verses describing the earth as spread out or like a carpet. But these are relatable descriptions, not scientific statements. The Arabic word dahaha, often translated as spread out, also refers to an ostrich egg, an oblate spheroid, much like the Earth's actual shape. The Quran uses language accessible to its first audience, but layered with meaning for all times. Describing the Earth as a carpet or bed emphasizes comfort and stability, not geometry. Nowhere does the Quran state the Earth is flat. In fact, other verses use imagery like wrapping night over day, which fits a spherical Earth. A flat disk doesn't have night and day coiling around it. The flat earth claim falls apart when you consider the richness of the Arabic and the purpose of the message. The Quran's language is both poetic and profound, not a geology lesson. Critics miss the spiritual message by focusing on literalism, the real point: gratitude for the earth as a stable, livable home. The Quran's words invite reflection, not simplistic dismissal. When read in context, the accusation of a flat earth simply doesn't hold up. Critics mock the Quran's mention of seven heavens, picturing ancient mythology, but the Arabic word sama means anything above: sky, clouds, cosmos, depending on context. The number seven often means multiplicity or perfection, not a literal count. Seven heavens expresses the vastness and complexity of creation, not a physical diagram. Classical scholars offered many interpretations: planets, atmospheric layers, even cosmic realms. As science advances, our appreciation for this layered description grows. The Quran's language is flexible and profound, not outdated. Mocking seven heavens is missing the point. It's about scale and wonder, not numbers. The universe is more complex than we can imagine, just as the Quran suggests. This isn't a scientific error, it's a timeless expression of awe. The Quran invites us to see beyond the surface, to the immensity of creation. Another claim is that the Quran describes human creation incorrectly, fluid from between the backbone and the ribs. Critics call this a biological mistake, but it's based on poor translation. The Arabic terms refer to the core of the man and the upper chest of the woman. The verse describes the contributions of both parents, not a single anatomy. It's a holistic, poetic description of conception, not a clinical one. Even modern embryology shows reproductive organs originate near the backbone and ribs before descending. The Quran's words are linguistically sound and compatible with science. The real error is in the critic's hasty reading, not in the Quran. The verse highlights the miracle of life, not a scientific formula. When understood properly, it's a powerful, accurate description. The accusation dissolves with honest study of language and context. Many mistake the Quran for a science textbook, expecting technical details and diagrams. But the Quran is a book of guidance filled with signs, ayat, for those who reflect. Signs point to the Creator, not to scientific formulas. The Quran uses the physical world, sun, rain, mountains, as reminders of God's power. Its language is universal, speaking to both ancient and modern minds. If it used today's scientific jargon, it would have been meaningless for centuries. Instead, it uses relatable imagery: the sun's course, mountains as pegs. These images convey spiritual truths and align with scientific insights as knowledge grows. The Quran's message is enhanced, not threatened by discovery. Its purpose is to inspire awe and reflection, not to pass a science exam. The depth of its language reveals itself over time. The Quran leads hearts and minds to God, not to technical manuals. The debate over scientific errors in the Quran is often about bias, not science. Critics apply standards to the Quran they'd never use elsewhere. Science itself evolves. Old textbooks are full of outdated ideas, yet we value the process. Why expect a 1400-year-old book to match today's scientific language? Most accusations come from decontextualized, mistranslated readings. The Quran invites honest, critical engagement, not blind faith, but thoughtful reflection. Understanding the Arabic context and scholarly interpretations reveals consistency and depth. The so-called errors vanish with honest study. The Quran's message has stood the test of time, growing clearer as knowledge advances. Its core is not about scientific details, but about your relationship with the Creator. Read it as guidance, and its truth shines brighter than ever. Approach it with an open heart and mind, and you'll find wisdom beyond measure.